Train Shtopsh play. Thomas didn't often take goods along his branch line. He took a milk tanker down from the top station every morning, much to Eunice's annoyance, and he often ventured to a mine near his junction to pick up trucks of lead, to arrange for some mainline trains. But one morning, I got a call from a quarry at the end of the line. That extension had been closed for some time, but it seemed the management wanted to reopen it, and they asked me to send a tank engine to collect stone trains. The manager said, I told the engines, that we've been recommended by one of their lorries.
Randy?
Thomas was surprised.
Why would he want to let us do his job? He's given us more work to do. He thinks we can't handle it.
Off Percy.
I'll show him.
Percy had to be careful as he made his way up the old quarry line.
It's steep, but I'll manage,
he puffed. He soon collected some trucks of stone and made his way down the branch line and back to the junction. He was very pleased with himself. Then he arranged a rake of empty wagons behind Jenny and Clarabelle and started back. Along the way, they had to wait at a signal. Nearby was a cricket field. A match had just begun. Good, said Dave. We can watch the game. Presently, some fielders walked towards them.
Could you move a bit forward, please?
They asked.
Your last few trucks are behind the bowler's arm and the batsman can't see.
Percy grunted as Dave eased him forward until he stood under the signal.
I don't understand cricket,
he said to no one in particular.
How do I know they aren't just spouting jargon at us just because they don't want to see us?
The cricketers thanked Dave and went back to start playing. The batsman hit out and sent a skyer sailing towards Percy's train. At that moment there was a clunk, and Dave elected to turn to see that the signal had gone down. Percy watched as the ball landed in a truck. He said nothing as Dave drove him on.
Stop!
Yelled the fieldsman. Percy ignored them, and the sound of his starting drowned out their shouts.
That's our only ball,
cried the frantic fieldsman as Percy pulled his coaches and trucks away. Four of them ran to the nearby road.
Taxi!
They waved.
Why are we stopping?
Caroline asked her driver.
They want a taxi, not a limousine.
No one listened. The fieldsman piled into Caroline.
Follow that train!
Percy wasn't hurrying. He had just crossed the river when he saw Caroline tooting along the road alongside their line. The cricketers waved and shouted, but Percy was too far away for his crew to recognize them or hear them properly.
Good thing we're taking some of the stone traffic off the road,
sniffed Dave.
If they've got jokers like that running on it.
Dave advanced the regulator, and Percy drew ahead, grinning at Caroline. The poor old taxi was not happy. She rattled along at twice her usual speed.
You mustn't treat me like this,
she grumbled to her driver.
This pace is too much for my system. It'll overheat and fuse my circuits.
But the cricketers urged Caroline's driver to keep it up. Suddenly, Percy and his train vanished from sight. Caroline cheered.
Hooray, that silly train has run into a tunnel. We can't catch it. Driver must be sensible now and drop off these mavericks.
She nearly boiled with fury when her driver made her pound up the steep hill and down the other side to the last station. Percy was just separating his trucks from Annie and Clarabelle when Caroline cluttered in.
We need our ball back,
said the cricketers to the crew, and they explained everything. Lecter went to look at the third truck from the rear. He found the ball nestled in a corner of the empty wagon.
Found it,
he said, straightening up and tossing the ball to a cricketer. Sorry about that, said Dave.
Oh, you couldn't help it.
Percy tried not to look guilty.
Now we must get back quickly.
Caroline's radiator was steaming. She was worn out. Dave spoke to the station master and the signaller, and they worked out a plan. While Percy took the empty trucks to the quarry, the staff rolled Caroline onto a flat truck and coupled it to Annie and Clarabelle. Her driver and the cricketers boarded the coaches, and then Percy took the train back down the line. After they stopped at the river station, they dropped off the cricketers at their field. At last the game could recommence. There were no more lost balls after Percy left, and the game was played to an exciting finish. Soon Percy had brought Caroline to the junction, where she would be towed to a garage.
You engines have your uses,
she admitted.
You can save the wear on a poor limousine's wheels.